Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the lift. We are out here today, you guys. You've asked me, many of you have written in, Sheila, what happened to the gym shoes? We want to get back out here and start these walks again, these informational walk talks. So you know that this channel is really extremely responsive. I'm listening to you, and I like to give you what you want. So we're going to be out here doing a lot more walks together in various places. The only thing I ask you, I've got my gym shoes on. I want you guys to get your gym shoes on too. I should not be the only one getting traction out here. So let's take a walk together. And you know that the walking is about the movement and the momentum that we cherish. You know, it's a symbol for life. We got to keep it moving out here. So I want to talk to you a little bit today. The topic today has to do with intimidation. We got a note from Sherry, loyal subscriber. Sending my shout out to Sherry. Always good to hear from you. And let me go over the letter with you. Sheila, I struggle in the area of intimidation. And the older I get, the more it bothers me. I know what I want to do and say in my head, but I feel like the energy of other people pushes me around emotionally. And I end up telling myself, just shut up. What can you offer? I know you have something for me. Well, Sherry, you come to the right place, and I absolutely have something to offer you. I really love this area of the park, guys. What I want to say to you, I definitely wish many years ago someone would have shared with me about this subject of intimidation. First and foremost, where does intimidation come from? Well, a lot of us, if you're like me, you grew up in an environment where your voice, perhaps it wasn't fully nurtured. You know, many of you can relate with that. Or maybe you came of age in an environment, it was not inclusive. You were not able to fully express with your voice. And so what happens when that occurs, what you do over time, you will become habituated. You will become habituated to just lock it down. This person knows more than you. It's better off if you don't speak at all. And then what you end up with, you're almost sitting on this volcano. It's a volcano of resentment mixed with ideas, mixed with regret. Oh, I wish I could have said this. I should have said that. So what I wish I would have known many, many years ago, many years ago, that if you want to get over intimidation, if you want to get over that inhibition that has been holding you back, you can't think enough. You're not going to be able to ponder, to write in a journal. That's not what it's about. It's not about a checklist. To get over intimidation and inhibition, you must begin. And it doesn't matter if your voice cracks, if your hands shake, you may embarrass yourself. Please pardon the interruption. We are definitely going to get back to our walk. But I recorded this, and then I got in my car I was like, no, wait a minute. There's a few things I left out. So I have to create this bridge in the video. I want you to know a couple more things about intimidation. No one is better than you, and no one is more worthy. In God's eyes, no one is more worthy than you. You know, I ran into an old classmate, very old classmate on social media recently. And this is someone that I had on a pedestal for years. It was truly a blast from the past. And what I saw in this neighborhood inside social media was a middle-aged woman with a few kids, very average person. Nothing had changed, but everything had changed. Without my story of her superiority, the intimidation had melted away completely. Can you imagine? There was a time in my life where I just didn't feel worthy to hang out with this person and her crew, her crowd. I really felt that way. I was very intimidated by this individual. And I have to tell you with all my soul, your story, what you're experiencing in terms of intimidation, that is linked to a story. I don't know when you wrote it, but I will tell you, if you're not careful, that story will continue to transfer across relationships, across circumstances, until living itself becomes intimidating to you. It can stop today. It truly can. Living your purpose, what you are here to do, what you came here to do, must become more powerful than fear or intimidation. Because when that happens, then you're going to say, I don't care what you think. I don't care if I was a little bit nervous when I had to get this done. I don't care. I don't care. I'm on a mission. What you think of me and what I'm doing is your business. I'm here, I'm living, I'm on point, I'm on purpose. That when you take the time to see yourself, observe yourself, walk through those feelings of fear, inhibition, intimidation, I promise you, can hear me say it again and again, it gets easier. It gets easier and easier. Look, I had to put in an extra in this video. Go ahead, back to the walk. What you have to focus on is starting. You have to start at the end of the day. And this is where a lot of people just go wrong. You're in your head. You want to rationalize it. Get out of your head and get into the action. Get into witnessing yourself. Face the intimidation. And I can't tell you enough. I love the stance of resist nothing. One of the things when I was working through these levels of intimidation, I told myself, you know what? This is me. This is me right here, facing my intimidation. Talk to yourself on that level. Become a coach. Become your own coach. You know, I remember sitting at this workshop, and this man, you know, brilliant in his own right, but a couple of the sources he had cited, they were incorrect. And you can imagine that's something of an intimidating moment, but I just couldn't take it anymore. You know, that volcano of resentment and that volcano of regret. I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to say something. I told him, listen, the information that comes from a different source. And I could see that he really didn't like that. And he said, we're just going to take a look at that on the lunch break. He did so, and he came back and he said, you know what? Thank you for that. I stand corrected. Yes, sir. You definitely do stand corrected. And someone may hear that and it's a small thing, but for me, it was huge. It was absolutely huge. And I'll tell you why. because I got an opportunity to see myself move out of that limiting arena of defeat. Open my mouth and speak. And the feeling I had after that, I literally fell in love with it. I fell in love with it. You know what? My hands may shake. I may be nervous. I may even have more intimidation, but I don't care anymore. I'm going to speak. You know, you have to start to realize that this is a race. You run around, you look, you compare. Oh, this person over here is smarter. This person is better. Sometimes they're just louder or they're more charismatic. And then we tell ourselves a story about our lack of worth and we don't contribute. I'll say again, understand, this is a race. This life is a race you are running against yourself. Stop looking around. Stop looking around and challenge yourself. Prepare for the fact you may be nervous, your hands may sweat, your voice may shake, but I can promise you, whatever has you intimidated, the more you face it, the easier it gets. The more you face it, the easier this gets. You are witnessing a woman. You know, I'm out here for you guys making this video. And there was a space and time years ago I couldn't even, you know, I was always in the back of the bus all my life. Now I make my living speaking to people around the world, stages all around the world, you guys. And if I can do it, if I can conquer this, anyone can. Anyone can. Again, the takeaways for today. You're not going to be able to reason yourself, to do a checklist, to think yourself out of intimidation and inhibition. The only way out is to face your fear, get into action, and the more you witness yourself powerfully speaking in motion, advocating for yourself, you guys, that's where those levels for your higher levels of respect for yourself rise, and you just go and repeat and do it again and again. You guys, we're going to be taking more walks. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.